welcome, happy Earth Day. We are going to be taking you through some really quick, easy hair techniques to reduce your hair wash days. So if we can make that style last longer, that's what we're going to do. So this is my beautiful model, Robin, who we're going to do a few different looks on. So Robin has the most gorgeous, gorgeous hair. This is all her own natural colour. So what we've done already is obviously we've popped Robin's hair into a ponytail. We're going to do a high ponytail and then we're just going to do some different techniques from this ponytail. So hi everyone, just in case you've joined, my name is B. Carmichael, Global Educator in Styling for Aveda. This is my beautiful model Robin and we are going to be doing some hairstyles for Earth Day. So happy Earth Day everybody. Okay, so let's start with the first style. So what I've done so far is just taken a high ponytail. I've tied her hair off with elastic. Now I used two sections. So I took a triangular section just at the top of the front hairline, back up to the crown, and we did it in two sections. So we did the underneath first, then we put the top sections in just so that it could be really nice and neat and tight. So the other thing that we're going to use is you can either use like a wooden stick or I'm using a chopstick here. So often when people want to change their style up, maybe you don't want to wash your hair as regularly during the week, maybe you want to go through and just reduce your wash days to conserve water because it is Earth Day. This could be an opportunity for you to have a new style. So all we're doing is we're securing the chopstick just at the base of the ponytail. So it has to go in at the front of the ponytail. And I am going to come around this side to make sure that you can see. And all we're going to do is we're going to braid around the chopstick. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just get Robin to just tilt her head back for me. So if you just tilt your head back, I'm just making sure everybody can see. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start off with a normal kind of like small 3-strand braid section. So here you can see just taking a small section through that top area. And then I'm just going to split that into 3 sections. And the product that we've got on Robin's hair at the moment from Aveda is just some Control Force hairspray. So actually through the ponytail at this stage, I've got no product in the hair. So I'm just doing almost like one pass with a 3-strand braid. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to loop a section, hook a section over and underneath the chopstick and bring it back into the centre. I'm going to take a piece of hair from the ponytail and do the same thing. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So taking a small piece of the ponytail, we want to hook it over the chopstick and bring it back through onto this side. And we're going to keep doing this. So we're basically just doing a 3-strand braid, but each time I'm adding a section in, I'm just hooking over the top of that chopstick as I'm going. So one of the reasons I thought it would be really nice to do this class for you guys, the Hair Brains community, was at Aveda, we do all sorts of things during the month of April. So April for us is Earth Month, and Earth Month for us basically means that we do all sorts of kind of activities to raise money for our charity that we partner with, which is called Charity Water. And what Charity Water does is it just helps to make water accessible for all. And we do a number of activities. We will do cut-a-thons in the salon when any of the money raised or any of the money from the appointments will go to Charity Water. We do things like we will climb up mountains. I have climbed up mountains, all sorts of things, to raise money for Charity Water. So there's lots and lots of things that we do. And I think one of the biggest fun things that we do during Earth Month is we have a competition running for our network where they can be inspired basically by water. And the idea is that they can do a colour that's inspired by water, whether it's a waterfall or just water, you know, running in a stream or the sea. And they do basically a colour, and we post the images to our Aveda artist page on Instagram, and our network chooses their favourite image and they choose a winner, so they basically vote. So we do all sorts of things during this month of April. So I thought what would be quite fun today is showing you quick, easy techniques that you can do to help your clients in salon, or even yourself, just go an extra day or so when it comes to shampooing your hair, just to conserve water. So if you imagine you even do that maybe like once a month or maybe twice a month, you just reduce those days where you need to wash your hair. Imagine the water that you're going to conserve. So we're just carrying on feeding the hair in as we're going, and we're going to keep going all the way through, all the way down, each time picking up a strand of hair and then just popping it over the chopstick, and then just carry on doing our braid all the way down. So I have just used Control Force Firm Hold Hairspray from Aveda, not through the ponytail itself, but to put the ponytail in. And we're just going to keep on doing this technique. So there's actually no product in Robin's hair through the ponytail because I wanted to show you like a couple of different techniques. So we're just carrying on, moving down. Hopefully you guys can all see as we're moving down to the base of her ponytail. We're going to do the same on the other side. Just feeding that hair in and over the top. And what you want to do is you want to keep going until you run out of hair through the underneath. So everything is either looped over your wooden rod or over your chopstick, as I'm using in my case. We're just going to keep going. We're almost there. And then once you've wrapped all the hair around your chopstick, you can just carry on braiding. So I'm just going to do a few braids or turns of braids just in here, almost to the ends. So I'm going to stop here, and then I'm just going to take a little elastic band and just tie this off. Just at the base. Okay, so we've wrapped this round and now we've tied this off, just secured it at the base. So that took me about 2 minutes, that was all. And I'm using these little non-snag hairbands, hope you can see, that are really, really good just to remove out of hair. They don't pull the hair at all. They're also clear as well, so it's quite nice because you can put them on any colour of hair. Okay, so are you ready when we take this out? So look how quickly you can create a really cool little hair up. Really, really quick. So all we need to do then is we can create any shape. So I can pin this at the base, which I'm going to do. And I'm just going to use a couple of curvy grips just to secure it at the base. Or bobby pins, I should say, bobby pins. And these just will help to secure this in place. So when I let this down, you'll see you've just got this really, really pretty shape through there. And then all I'm going to do is just secure the first kind of loops in at the base. So if I just get Robin to tilt her head back, I'm just taking those first kind of loops in and just using a bobby pin just to secure and going in underneath that band. And then what I'm going to do is I can either leave this where I can flip this up on the underneath, or I can actually just simply leave it as a ponytail. What I'm going to do in this case though is I'm going to flip it up on the underneath. So I'm going to take another non-snag band and I'm just going to create a loop at the base of her hair so that I can reduce some of that hair through there. So I've just created that loop and now I can just pop this in and I'm actually going to secure this in just at the nape through there. So I'm just going to use 2 more bobby pins and I'm just going to pop this through the band and through her hair in the nape area. There we go, just making sure it's nice and secure. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So Earth Month for us at Aveda is quite a fun time. We get to do all sorts of activities to raise money for charity water. And in salon, there's all sorts of things that we can do to bring awareness. There's all sorts of things that we can do as well to raise money. And that's what's quite good fun. So whether it's walking up mountains or whether it's literally just bringing awareness to our guests about the work that we do with charity water. And what's really amazing is since 1999, we have raised, as a network at Aveda, we have raised $67 million, or $67 million as a team, as a group, as a network, which I think is absolutely incredible. So here is a little bit of fun. So literally that just took just a few minutes with using a chopstick. Absolutely, you could spray this down and it would stay. But I want to take you through another look. So we're going to do quite a few different looks. So I'm going to take this out, but your best friend actually could be a chopstick. Just as a hair tool, they're so handy to have. So I'm going to take this out and we're going to move on to our next look. I all hope and wish you a very happy Earth Day. We have so much lined up for you here at Hairbrained. Everything from cutting, we've got colour as well. Please join us later because we've got the fantastic Ricardo Dinnis who will be doing haircuts. He's our artistic director in cutting at Aveda. And then we've also got the fantastic Ian Michael Black, who is our global artistic director in hair colour. So you've got a lot going on today, an awful lot going on today. So I hope you have a lovely, lovely Earth Day. Hi, Wendy. Hello, Wendy. Thank you so much for joining. I can see all your messages coming through now. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do, all easy things that you can do off of a ponytail, is we're going to do something that's kind of like, I suppose, a little bit more kind of glam from maybe kind of like day to evening. But again, this is all about just reducing the amount of times you wash your hair during that week. So whether it is just that you lose an extra day, so maybe you go an extra day without washing your hair, this could be quite a nice technique to do. So the product that I'm going to use is our shampoo powder from Aveda. So this is kind of like a very, very light dry shampoo. And all it does is you just literally puff it into the hair. You can see it's just got this lovely light kind of mist. Now the reason why I want to use this is because this is very, very silky, very good conditioned hair. So I just want to give this hair a little bit of a grip. So I'm just going to put a little bit in. I'm going to do some on the other side as well. Just so that we've got a little bit of grip in the hair there. And then I'm just going to rub this in. And you can start to feel the hair just get a little bit more grip to it. Okay. Right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to use some gold thread. So this is elasticated thread, so it's nice and stretchy. If you've got the stretchy version, this will be much, much better, but it comes in all different colours. We're going to start off by taking quite a long piece. I would probably say about 2 meters, so quite a long piece of thread. And all you want to do is you just want to tie the thread to the base of the ponytail to start you off. So I'm just going to do that one side. So you've got like a shorter length and a longer length. So I'm just going to come round and just separate the hair in two. So now I've got that sham powder in the hair and I've got a little bit of grip to the hair. What I can do is I can just separate it down the middle. And I think this is a really nice technique if you're going out. So, you know, those of you maybe that are going out tonight after work, maybe you can get somebody in the salon to do this to your hair. But I think this is a really pretty kind of look and it's super, super easy. So the trick with this is to make sure that you've got some form of grip in the ponytail. And what I mean by that is that the hair texture, as soon as you kind of push your fingers together, you get a little bit of guts to the hair. So this is why we've used our Aveda sham powder in the hair. So I'm going to take the long part of the cord and I'm just randomly going to start to wrap it around odd sections of the hair. So I've just got 2 sections and I'm just going to wrap it around one side of the hair. I'm doing it 3 times this side. Then I'm going to come round in underneath, almost like a figure of 8 on the other side, and wrap it round a couple of times this side. So what you want to do is make sure that you're quite random, so there shouldn't be too much of a thought process when you're doing this technique. So now I'm going to come round and do just one either side. And I'm just wrapping in and sometimes just going around each of those ponytails. And if I want to see more of the gold thread, I'm literally just wrapping a bit more of the gold thread around. So I've almost got like a thicker band. And I'm just going to give everything a good pull. So this is why this needs to be quite strong. And then again, we'll do the same thing again. And we're just going to keep moving almost like down the hair as randomly as we can. So here I'm just going to take the thread and I'm actually going to go all the way around. And then I'm just going to split the hair again. And then start to go just in random sections again. All the way down. So if you wanted to, you could use, you know, any kind of like elasticated cord. I've tried it with other things before. you know, like kind of like using something that's less elasticated, and you just get a different effect. So it's not that it's wrong, it's just that you get a different effect. And the trick is to make sure that you've got some sort of form of grip in that ponytail. So I hope you've all had a really good morning so far this morning. I was trying to work out what time I think it is there, and I think it's about 10 o'clock there. I think it's about 10 o'clock your end. So here, I'm coming to you live and direct from the UK. Here we are just coming up to 3:30. So once I get down towards the end and I've almost run out of cord, I'm literally just going to put a band in the bottom and secure all of this. So again, just using my non-snag hair bands. I absolutely love these. That's non-snag. And the reason also why I like these in the hair is because they do give the hair a bit of slip as well. So it means that, you know, I can pull the hair about if I want to. So once that's secure, I'm going to start sort of towards the base of the ponytail. So I want to make sure that I start down this end, and I'm just going to start to pull this out as I'm going, and just be really random as I start to pull this out. So you almost kind of get this like real sort of 3D kind of effect. So I'm just making sure as I'm going round that I'm really pulling always from the bottom up. I've still got my fingertips just on the base here so that I can make sure I'm holding on to this. And then I'm just going to keep going, and I'm working my way up towards the actual base of the ponytail. So I'm working my way up here. But what really helps to kind of keep this stable is the fact that we've got the sham powder in the hair. So that's what helps to give it that guts and that bulk. So I'm just going to keep going. So I hope everybody's having a nice Earth Day so far. I hope you've all had a good morning. As I say, there's so much happening on Hairbrain today for you guys. So remember to tune in later, because you've got Ian Michael Black, our Global Artistic Director from Aveda for hair colour, as well as Ricardo Dinnis, who is our Global Artistic Director in cutting as well. So there's a lot going on. You're going to have colour, cut and style today. So as I'm just going through, I'm just really kind of expanding this kind of wherever I want to see it. But you can see how quick it is. It's a really, really super quick technique. Now to finish it off and to make it a bit more glamorous, all I'm going to do is just add more gold cord in areas. So for example, you know, I want to hide the band just at the bottom here. So I can just go round and just hide that with a bit of cord. But I can also, as well, I can also use this in a way where I can make almost like cord or gold hairbands. So I can add like a thickness to the band as well. So I'm just going to check your comments. So the main reason why I love sham powder from Aveda is because it acts like a dry shampoo. So this is all about trying to elongate your style. So we all know, don't we, that sometimes you probably get maybe day 1, day 2 is okay. You get to day 3 and you're like, oh, I should be shampooing it now. This is just a great way of kind of having a cool kind of change to your style without having to shampoo your hair, and just saving water just for 1 extra day, even a week, could make such a huge difference. So then what we have is we have this like wonderful kind of like 3D. I'm just going to move you forward. Boop in, there you go. This wonderful like 3D effect. And it's just like a really, really nice kind of way just to sort of jazz something up for an evening. Would look really cool with some hoops and a nice suit, ready for that summer party. So super, super, super easy to do and super quick. So you've already seen, let's do a chopstick braid. Chopstick, couple of minutes, that's all it takes off of a ponytail. And now you've seen this golden thread idea. All I would do to add extra kind of accessory in it is you could then go back in and tie more thread around in each section. The reason why I really like this technique is because it doesn't really matter how long somebody's hair is. As long as you can get the hair back, and as long as even like hair length like mine, you might do a couple of ponytails. So you might do one at the side, at the front, and one at the side at the back. And then you can create these kind of like little knots as well. So you don't have to have long hair. Okay, so let's do our next look. So we're really going through these today. So the big thing is for us at Aveda is our Earth Month. So you've heard me, if you've been watching since the beginning, you've heard me talk about Aveda and Earth Month so far. And Earth Month for us, we've been really doing it since 1999. And we do all sorts of events as the network of Aveda, whether it's doing cut-a-thons, as I said before, or doing all sorts of different kind of events where we might walk up mountains, we might do sponsored events. And what we're doing is we're raising money or helping to raise money for our Charity Water partnership. And what Charity Water does is it just helps to create the access to clean water. And I'm so chuffed. Our Aveda network is incredible. So if you don't know the Aveda network, our guys, our network are amazing. And so far, we've already raised, since we've been doing this, since 1999, $67 million for WaterAid and Charity Water. So there's a number of things that we can do. So even if you're not in the network, you can still do your bit. And we have a really beautiful shampoo bar, which is called our Shampoo Nurturing Bar. And basically, the money that we get from the purchase of the Shampoo Nurturing Shampoo Bar, an element of that purchase goes to Charity Water. And you can sort of see here on the screen, it's this bar that you can basically use through your hair, but you can also use it on your body. And it's just like a really cool way of just having a different form of a shampoo, but in a bar. And it's got the Aveda shampoo aroma, which is absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't smelt it already, I suggest you do. Okay, we are going to go on to our next look. So for this look, we're going to do, again, sort of like a variation of braid. What I love about this is, again, it doesn't matter what hair length you're doing it on, and also it doesn't matter what hair texture you're doing it on either. So although Robin has fairly straight hair naturally, there's a tiny bit of movement in it, but her hair type is definitely kind of like a 2A. What we want to do is I wanted to share with you some styles you could do on all sorts of textures. So all you need to do is put your ponytail in, just like we've done here. I was mentioning earlier, I did this in 2 sections. So I took a triangular section through the top area. I did the underneath first. Then I did the top section separately, but joined them together. And I've just been using our Control Force Firm Hold Hairspray. So what I've done is I've sprayed that quite close to the head around each single section. As I've gone in, I've sprayed it. So it acts like Velcro. It sort of grips the hair together. Then what we've done is we've tied cord around. So I like to use elasticated cord, rather than a hairband, just because it just gets a much nicer ponytail. And once we've done that, we're ready to work off our different shapes. So what we're going to do now, and all you need for this is tiny small elastics. So we're going to use just tiny little black elastics that I've got here, you can see. And again, this is all about being random. Don't think about it too much. As soon as you think about it too much, you'll start to lose your momentum. So all you're going to do is take small sections. Remember, we've got the sham powder in the hair already, so the hair's got some guts to it. It's got some grip to it. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a section and you're just going to create a bend and a buckle in the hair, and you're going to tie a band around it. So this is why this is good for any kind of like hair texture, whether you've got curls or coils. So you want to create these little kind of shapes. Now this is where you just, as I said before, you want to be really random. So we're going to take another section. And I'm taking the sections, I would probably say about 1 inch thick. So I'm going to put these over there. And now I'm going to take another section and do exactly the same thing. So just buckle this over and then pop a band in. And your loops can be as big or as small as you like. This is actually a look that I did a few seasons ago for a designer in the UK called Gayon Lee. And this was just a really, really nice idea. So I'm going to take the two sections together, just bend it over and pop another band on. So you can kind of get the drift. Okay, you can see how kind of like random this is. So then I'm going to carry on and I'm just going to keep doing this all the way through this ponytail. And absolutely you could use maybe different coloured bands as well. But definitely be, if you can, as random as possible when you're doing it. So you could put maybe, I think I'll do 2 in this section. So I'll do a little one here, so just like a little bend. And then I think I'm going to pick this section up and we'll join those two together. And we'll do like a bigger one here. And don't worry if, you know, you hit some layers in the hair that you're working on and you have these little bits that pop out. It's all good. That's going to actually add to the finished style. So again, another section. In fact, I'm going to come over this side, I think. Just take some bands with me. So I'm going to see if anyone's got any questions as we're going. If you've just tuned in, maybe you've missed how we started. So hi, nice to meet you. I'm Bea, Global Educator in Styling for Aveda. So what we're doing here, we started off on a ponytail or using a ponytail, and we're just taking random sections and just looping them over and then just tying them off with small elastics. The trick is to be as random as possible, not think about it too much, and literally to work on both sides of the head. So literally just coming round and working on both sides of the head. We have got Control Force Firm Hold Hairspray in the base of the ponytail, but we've got sham powder, so Aveda's sham powder through the actual ponytail, which is our version of a dry shampoo. So this is what helps to give you kind of like this grip to the hair as we're moving through this technique. So again, I'm just going to join a couple of these together. Trying to be as random as possible. I'm just going to give that a little comb. So we'll join these together. Might do a little one here. So yeah, so Earth Month for us at Aveda is a real great way to get our entire network engaged. So whether it's our teams in salon, whether it is our guests, it's all about connecting, and we just love to do it in a number of ways. So if you haven't had a chance already, please check out Aveda Artist page, because we've got a competition running at the moment for Earth Month, which is all about creating a beautiful colour technique using inspiration or getting your inspiration from water. And there's just some really, really beautiful images out there using kind of like just the earth as your inspiration. I've got some actually here that you might be able to see on the screen. Some of our last year's entrants, you might be able to see them over there, and just absolutely beautiful, beautiful work. So I'm just going to carry on as we're working through until, again, we run out of hair, or almost run out of hair. I don't want to completely use all of this. I need to keep an element of this out, so I'm just going to keep one section out. But you can see as we're moving through how it's just kind of like a real fun, but also quick, because we're not using bands. Well, we are using bands, but we're not using grips. I love using bands in hair ups and grips as little as possible. If I can, I use minimal grips. I know sometimes you need them, but I just think you just get such a different feeling when you use hair bands versus just using kind of the normal kind of bobby pins or hairpins. So I'm just going to see if there's any questions. Hi guys, hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining, because I know it's quite early there. I know it's your morning there. So nice to be part of the hair-brained community. So nice. Very nice to meet you all. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining. So we're just going to keep going. And we've still got our section here through the back that we're just going to leave out for now. I'm just going to turn Robin slightly to one side. And just we're looping these sections over. So if anybody missed, this is basically based off of a ponytail. What we're doing here is from the base of the ponytail, we're just taking small sections and we're just using very, very small bands, and we're just looping the hair over. So just these tiny, tiny little bands. So as of yet, there's no kind of like pins in the hair or bobby pins or curvy grips. So you just get this really kind of like nice effects in the hair. So what we want to do now is we want to make it look like it's all part of one thing. So what I am going to do now is I am going to use a few hair pins, but I'm going to keep it to a minimum. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to create a shape, and I'm going to start to push the hair around until I get a shape that I quite like. So I am going to use some quite large pins. These are Japanese kind of hairpins. They've got small ridges on them, so they're really strong, and because of the ridges they don't pop back out of the hair, so it does mean that you can get a really good stable foundation and you don't need to use too many. So I'm going to hook this in, and then I'm going to push it in and back, and I'm pushing it in and back onto the base. So hopefully you guys can see, as I'm doing it, I'm just sort of almost like hooking in the band and then just it's pinning back on itself. And I think I'm going to come over this side, so we'll pop one here. So I hope some of you are doing some things for Earth Month, or just maybe you're just enjoying or able to enjoy just being outside in the fresh air. And hopefully wherever you are, you've got some nice weather and you're enjoying some of that sunshine. I think it's so important just to take time, isn't it, sometimes, just for yourself, and just be able to sit outside and just be thankful. We live on a very cool planet with lots and lots of cool people. So just really visually just working through this shape. And then as we work round, you can see that we've left this kind of almost like section out through the back. So all I want to do with this section is I want to almost create kind of like a length that's coming down this way. So I'm still going to carry on using my bands. Still taking small sections. Again, remember, like the more random you can be, the better it's going to look. And just creating a loop with those little elastics. So we're going to do this all the way down to the ends. So definitely I would say the sort of first look that I showed you, which you're using the chopstick, is very much kind of, you know, you could make that look different in so many ways. You could create like a really pretty chignon or something out of it. The second look using the gold thread, I think, is definitely kind of just like a really cool kind of like party kind of look. And then this, depending on the length of hair, you can make this as big or as small as you like. And you're going to see how we're going to do that in a minute. So as I'm working through, just joining some of those sections together and leaving some of those ends out, we just create this kind of almost very cool kind of like texture in the hair. And this looks really pretty on curly hair as well. And what I'm going to do is now start to pin and create a shape through this top area. So just literally taking a pin, going in through the band, and then just really going in through the base of the ponytail. And then we can add a few more bands in as we go. So I'm going to take this section here, pick up a little bit of the section there, and we'll go the opposite way. So we'll flip this one up. There we go. I think we'll take that one and the band in. And we'll just flip this one down, I think, this one. Okay, so that gives me plenty of kind of like loops then where I can start to make a shape. So I've got about I would say 2 to 3 Japanese pins in there at the moment. So it's a very kind of like loose, it's just enough for me to take my hands away. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to start to swap over and use more kind of bobby pins because I want to commit to this placement now. So as I'm doing it, I'm just going to work through on the underneath and almost like weave in my bobby pin just to secure this at the base. And then I'm going to start to create more of a shape. So I'm going to push this together so it's not quite so wide. And again, I'm just going to weave that in and I'm just pinning this into the base. Then what I'm going to do is, as I'm looking at the shape, I'm going to start to then go back to using my elastics. So I'm going to pull this together here and I'm just going to grab this whole section and just put this whole section in an elastic. And then I think we'll do one here as well at the end here. So again, just another little elastic, grab this whole section and we'll put one in here. And then we'll do one more at that top, I think. Look quite nice. And then again, just the same thing. I think we'll put those two together and just put another elastic around. So you just get a very, very different kind of look when you're able to use more elastics than using grips and pins. It just makes the shape a little bit more airy. So what I want to do now is just pull this down a little bit and make it really quite tight in at that nape. And I'm just going to start to pin this a bit flatter. So I all hope that you're having a pretty good Earth Day and wishing you a very, very happy Earth Day from myself and all of the team at Aveda. And I hope you have a really good day at work today as well, if you're working today. So I'm just going to change the shape a little bit this side. And I think I might just do one more loop just here. So just going back to my bands. Just going to take that whole section and just loop that through. Just to create a little bit of interest just through the back there. And then just a couple more pins. Just to create that shape. So this is what's quite nice when you've got all these tiny little bits that are just popping out. Like, don't worry about those, leave those in. Because I think it looks quite nice just with those little ends. Right, so I'm just going to go back to using my Control Force Firm Hold hairspray. And literally, I'm just going to accentuate some of those, just those areas. I love this Firm Hold hairspray because you can literally just pull a section, spray it, and it stays. But it's still got this like brushable hold, which is really, really nice. So it doesn't feel kind of like sticky. It's just really, really light. Okay, let's have a little look as we spin her around. So you just get this really beautiful kind of like 3D sort of effect in the hair. Just use it from the other side. Just turn that way. So just a bit of fun and just thinking about using different tools just to make things quicker for you. So we have seen 3 different looks. The first look we created with using a chopstick, but you could use a pencil, you could use a pen, anything that's long enough just to start to braid the hair around. And then our second look, we used a little bit of this gold thread. So remember, always use an elasticated thread because it does make it a lot quicker and a lot easier. If you want to do that, just very cool kind of pulled apart braid. And then here is all about banding. So just using bands rather than using too many grips and pins. It's fine to use the grips and pins when you're securing the shape, but certainly to build the shape, just use your bands because that's when you get all these like great kind of like loops and this great texture in the hair. So I just wanted to wish you all a very, well, Robin and I actually wanted to wish you a very, very happy Earth Day. We've loved being here, so thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to the hair braiding team for having us. Don't forget to tune in a little bit later on today, because at 2 p.m. you have got Ricardo Dennis, our Global Artistic Director in cutting from Aveda, and then at 6 p.m. this evening you've got Ian Michael Black, our Global Artistic Director in colour from Aveda. So thank you so much. Please follow me at bcarmichael13 on Instagram, or you can just find me on Facebook as bcarmichael. And I wish you a very, very happy Earth Day. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy your day. Bye.